After you've opened up your.
So cute. Oh. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. That was such a warm welcome. Give it up for Corey. He's kind of funny. I'm really happy because now he's finally officially proven that he is good at both of the two things he bragged about being good at the first night when we met. Second one was comedy. Now I believe him after 6.5 years. When I was driving home the morning after I just met him, I was really only certain that he was good at the first thing he bragged about. Which is sex, of course. But he sent me home with his comedy DVD, and I wasn't so sure I wanted to watch it because I was really afraid that he was going to suck ass on stage. And I would have lost all respect for him. So one of my friends looked at me and she's like, well, come on now, you had sex with him on the first date. Maybe he lost respect for you. And I was like, well, that wasn't the first date. That didn't happen until 2 weeks later. After I watched the comedy DVD and, made sure he at least didn't suck. Now he's pretty damn good. At both things. That's cute. Except for that thing he did with the Down syndrome thing. I saw this on Facebook yesterday morning. One of my friends said, on 3/21, celebrate World Down Syndrome Day. And I was like, fucking hey, I'm celebrating my birthday. Who told the Down syndrome people that they can have my birthday? I felt mean. But I wasn't sure how I should feel about that. Because now I picture Facebook tomorrow, all day long. Down syndrome, Down syndrome, Down syndrome. Everybody's going to forget that it was my birthday. I know, that's sad. Kind of. It's alright. I have officially been drinking longer than Evan Rabelais has been alive. Please clap it up for that. He's like, oh, I get to start drinking. I went, holy crap. 23 years of drinking. He's not even 21 yet. That's really funny. If you're wondering, I did start a little bit early. I will be 36 tomorrow, not 75. But I did start young. At 12 years old, I grew up in Finland, and people start drinking early in Finland. We get started early with stuff. So at 12, my mom came up to me, really drunk, and she goes, Iina, you're 12 years old now. That means your liver is fully developed. So you can have as much champagne tonight as you want. And I went, really? Cool. By midnight, we were run out of champagne. So then my friend and I broke into a little storage shed and started drinking Heineken. It was downhill from there on out. Oh, man. My mom was a nurse. That's why she was concerned about my liver. I know. It's sort of ironic. It really is. I was really supposed to do some jokes tonight, too, but I got on that tangent about drinking because that was amazing to me. We just recently moved to New Orleans, Louisiana from Slidell. Give it up for Slidell first. I sort of guessed. That was a better response than I expected. I liked Slidell. It was really fun. When we first moved over there, I really kind of liked being active, and I was walking a lot. And so I went out walking, gave the man a drink. I started walking down Highway 433 almost every single day, and my first day out going out walking, I was really impressed by Slidell people because they were super nice. I came home, we were living in a little RV, a 1982 Southwind RV at the time, and I came home and I told Corey, I said, Corey, people here are super nice. And he's like, what makes you say that? I said, 3 people pulled over and asked me if I needed a ride. He was like, I bet they were all men. And I went to really defend the Slidell gentleman. And I said, no, 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 babe, I'm sure they weren't trying to hit on me. They were all more like older, more distinguished looking gentlemen in pickup trucks. And Corey's like, you know, I didn't think they were trying to hit on you. They were thinking you were a prostitute. I was like, in a sports bra and tennis shoes. And then I started paying attention at the truck stops, and I realized, holy shit, that is the outfit. So after that day, I started running, because I figured prostitutes don't run. Nobody ever asked me if I wanted to ride again. Except for this one woman. She was concerned for my well-being and safety. She told me that there were people in the woods that might jump out and do something to me. And I was like, who are these really patient freaking rapists in Slidell? Who sit around the forest waiting for that one random crazy Finnish person. It's the only person running on Highway 433 ever. So I decided that it wasn't safe to take a ride with her. Because she believed in those people. So now I've been living in New Orleans for 6 months, and I found out a couple of things. Like, one thing, I found out that people in Slidell were really, really nice. Not just because they offered me rides and, you know, stuff like that, or gave us sometimes free snowballs at the snowball stand. Because we were like the only customers, they appreciated us a lot. But also because in Slidell, if people were trying to, even if they were trying to talk shit, they did it like in a nice way. Like one of our neighbors, you know, she would, every time she would talk about her husband, she's like, my husband, bless his heart, but he ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. Like, that's nice, bless his heart. Like, it's a nice way of saying he's dumb. Or like another person, you know, she would, you know, complain about another neighbor living in another RV, and she would say something like, you know, that neighbor over there, I don't mean to be mean, but she's kind of a bitch. I don't mean to be mean. Like, she, you know, she was being nice about it. In New Orleans, people are genuine. That's what the tourists say. You ask them, you know, how do you like New Orleans? And they go, people here are very genuine. Yeah, they're genuine, all right. They say what they're thinking. Like the lady at the Walgreens, the other day I went over there, right by our house now. I went in there, and I asked her, and I said, you know, how are you doing today? Because I see her every day. And she goes, got 3.5 more fucking hours, and that bitch over there is driving me fucking nuts. I was like she's talking about her manager. Loudly. Genuine. Genuine people. But it's not their fault, because what I've discovered is that people in New Orleans have what I call full sentence Tourette syndrome. Like, instead of just a random fuck, it's like a freaking entire sentence comes out. Like this one lady at the grocery store, she was on the phone and she was talking really loud, and she goes, I'm 55 fucking years old, I ain't about to suck no fucking dick. You heard me? I was like halfway across the store, and I was like, I heard you. Like, wow. Like, that is some kind of condition, I'm pretty sure. I've also discovered that in New Orleans, there's at least 3 ways of pronouncing everything. There's the New Orleans way, then there's the white way, and then there is the tourist way. Like, nobody pronounces anything the same way, because everyone corrects me. From one part of town to another part of town, I'm getting corrected. I'm like, well, but they just taught me on the other side of town, this is how you say it. So being from Finland, I feel awkward and uncomfortable. So I just say I don't speak English. They believe me, it's all right. One of the reasons the main reason we moved to New Orleans was because I do personal training out in City Park. Again, I don't know, maybe the Down syndrome day has some, like, really seriously, anyone who works out for a living, like, there's really, I don't know, and nobody else wants to do that. I like it so much that I volunteer to be a workout buddy, or a people walker, I call it sometimes. I get paid a lot of money to walk people. It's way better than walking dogs. I don't know why anybody wouldn't do it, really. But some funny things happen at times. Like I have a lot of male clients. For some reason, men like to be, they like to have a 130-pound woman like kick their ass, apparently. And so one day I'm training this one guy, and a lot of them are like ex-Marines, which is really funny to me. And so we're stretching, and I bring my leg up, and I stretch like this, and I feel like a big lump in the back of my leg. And my first thought was, oh my God, I have a tumor. And then I was like, no, it's mushy and cushy, and doesn't feel like part of my leg. And I'm trying to figure out what it is without being like really obvious about it. And all of a sudden I went, holy shit, it's a pair of panties from the day before. And like I have tights on, so it's this big lump. Like it's really obvious. Like I'm certain that the guy I'm training has already noticed it, just didn't tell me about it. But then since I realized that they were panties, I didn't know what was the appropriate way of taking them out of there, because it's not like I could just go, excuse me sir, hold on, I need to pull my panties out of my pants. And then it's a park, so there's like people around, and I'm like trying to figure out if I should pull him from the bottom, or if I should dig through the top. And so I just made him do 25 more, or whatever the hell it was I was having him do at the moment, and I tried to figure this out, and I finally pulled him from the top up. But then we started walking again, and I'm stuck with this bunched up pair of panties in my hand. So I couldn't do planks, and I couldn't do push-ups. I'm just walking around with this pair of panties until I very cleverly decided to slip them right here between my boobs, which isn't a whole lot of space, so then I end up like the big uni boob. No. So I was really very awkward about that again, so then I didn't know what to do. So when I had back-to-back appointments, so before the next guy showed up, what I decided to do was remove the panties and I just tossed them under the tree. And then I made it all the way home before I remembered that I forgot the panties under the tree. I was picturing the maintenance man who found him there, and picture some really hot, heated moment going down the night before. All with my panties. What else? I'm going to talk about one more thing. Traveling. I have a sort of a problem with traveling, because being from Finland, I have to fly, like, travel takes like 25 hours to get to Finland. So I don't see my family a whole lot. But when I do travel, I've discovered a few things. Like, for all the women who like to travel and you get on an airplane, if you want to make things easier for yourself, make sure you have more bags than you can carry. Generally, that's a sure way to make sure you don't have to carry any of them. Because if you can't carry them all, somebody will offer you help. And you don't have to carry them. And it got really awkward this last time, because this guy in a wheelchair just rolled up next to me and like, man, can I help you with your bags? And I didn't want to be mean or anything, but I just felt that I was better equipped to carry these bags than he was. But because I didn't want to hurt his feelings, I just went ahead and stacked those bags up on top of his lap, and I said, let's go. He wheeled on with my bags, and I felt bad because there's this lady with like 3 kids and baby strollers and bags and all kinds of stuff, and nobody was helping her. But then I realized it was her own fault, because kids are gross. Nobody wants to help that. They're noisy too. I don't have any yet. I also got really tired of the TSA, going through all my bags when I travel, because I refuse to go through the x-ray machine thing. So they always open up my carry-on luggage and embarrass me in public, and have to pull out all my personal items right there on the counter. So the last time I traveled, I decided that if this was going to be awkward and uncomfortable for one of us, it was going to be uncomfortable and awkward for both of us. So I went to the local little sex store. This was when we still lived in Slidell, so it's right there close to Scuttlebutts, right behind the raw shop. And I bought the biggest, most anatomically correct looking dildo. I packed it into my carry-on luggage right there on top, like where you pop the bag open. And right on the dildo I put a little sign that says, I apologize for any inconvenience, but for my amusement you have been randomly selected to find a dick in the bag today. Have a nice day. Thank you guys, that's my time.
Hey, one more time for Iina, man. If you go in a city park, there's a pussy tree growing right there in the middle of the field. Smells delicious.